ringing up at the supermarket. You pay when you finish. Well, how about not going up to a cash register at all? We all know the typical supermarket, but Nourish and Bloom is different. It is about healthy eating, and it is Black owned.
Many of our customers say, I feel like I'm stealing because it's like literally you're walking in, grabbing what you want and walking out.
A concept that's mind-blowing, the way they do business for the Black community. Get your list. We're going grocery shopping in Blackland.
And now,
as a brown person, you just feel so invisible.
That's not fiction. Where we're from.
Brothers and sisters, I welcome you to this joyful day.
We celebrate freedom. Where we are.
Get on the ground!
I know someone heard something.
And where we're going.
We the people means all the people.
The Black Information Network presents Blackland with your host, Vanessa Tyler.
We all go grocery shopping, but few experience shopping like this. A Black-owned grocery store that is so high-tech. Don't bother to bring your wallet. In fact, pick up what you want and walk out the store. But there is more to this than the tech. There's a purpose and a mission to Nourish and Bloom Market. Joining me is the owner and creator, Jilea Hemmings. Jilea, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nourish and Bloom is a new experience for us, but this is bigger than the tech. It's about the health of the Black community. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think that, 1 in 5 Black households in America struggle with food insecurity, right? And with the continued cuts to public assistance, the gap is only growing. This is truly a crisis, right? And for my husband and I, we saw firsthand what the challenges were around living in areas that were food insecure, where your only options are corner stores or fast food. And we're both parents, and we thought, what if tech could be used not just for convenience, but for care? And that's what we sought to bring to market with Nourish and Bloom.
Jilea and her husband, Jamie Michael Hemmings, weren't always in the food supplying business. The two were corporate, but the need came from a space deep in their own stories.
When my son was 2 years old, he was diagnosed with autism, and they mentioned that the biggest way that we could help him was to ensure that he ate a clean diet. Both my husband and I at the time were both working in corporate America with crazy schedules, as many people I'm sure can relate to. But we knew it was our son, and we had to do, something to give him the best shot at success. So we started to get into the kitchen and make meals that we knew were healthy for him, and he liked them. And we also have 2 other kids. They always say, you always forget about us. We're not forgetting about you. So it was important not only for him, but for all kids, and for all of humanity really to eat well. And so once we started to see that, he liked them, our younger kids also enjoyed the meals, we knew we had something special there. And that's how we first got into the food space of making healthy meals for kids that were quick and healthy. So he was our inspiration. And then when we moved to Atlanta 5 years ago, we found ourselves in the food desert again. And we were wondering, how are we going to make sure that we could continue and to ensure that he was eating well? And we saw there was no options that were close, right? We were in a traditional food desert, being, greater than a mile away in urban areas, greater than 5 miles away in rural areas from fresh food, that we decided to open the first AI market, Nourish and Bloom, which was the first Black-owned autonomous grocery store in the world to open. That was focused just on ensuring that no matter what time of day it was, you could always have access to something you could feel good about.
And what they're doing is more important now than ever.
We've all seen the recent cuts and what's coming over the next 10 years, and with a lot of these new initiatives that have just come out, and it is going to affect the amount of dollars that is spent or given or allocated towards food. And then also with the rising costs of food, you put those two together, it is a recipe that is, really a recipe for disaster.
We all know what a food desert is, and we all know where it is. So those are your target areas?
So our mission is 24/7 access to fresh food, right? So that's a collective. But through our technology, we've been able to also laser focus on food deserts, right? Areas where traditional big box stores have not been able to come. Like, how do we ensure that our mission, which is 24/7 fresh food for all, is really for all? And so we've really spent a lot of our energy and time in food deserts because we've seen a lot of need there.
What can we find on the shelves of Nourish and Bloom?
Sure. So you find a little bit of everything, right? So we're not, a traditional store is about 40,000 square feet. We're not that, but we're the bridge between the corner store and the big box store. So you can expect to find, fresh produce. We have meats. We have dairy, all of the essentials that you would find in any other store. We just don't have maybe the variety that you'd see in a larger footprint store, but we have a little bit of everything. And our goal is that every time you come in, you make a better choice. Maybe if you were going for, traditional milk, you might now go and select, almond milk or cashew milk, like just exposing you to more alternatives that are better for your health.
I was just reading that your jerk chicken is like finger licking good. Everyone's talking about the jerk chicken.
Yeah, so we also do have prepared meals, right? Because, a lot of times we're all busy and we want to make sure that even on the go, that you're able to come in and grab, a meal that you can feel good about. And one of those is our jerk chicken. So, we have been known for having some of the best jerk chicken, I think, in the Southern United States.
So we could find familiar brands on your shelves?
Absolutely. But then you also can find amazing local brands as well that you can also purchase. So we try to curate that, you might have a local cookie next to a national brand cookie, but now you have, a choice between the two.
Okay, the tech. About the tech. How does it work? And how did you and your husband come up with this concept?
We came up with it during the pandemic as well. So that was also something that we all felt collectively together, what the impact was of seeing stores close and limited hours and all of those things, but still needing, to have our basic functions and being able to access fresh food. And so we knew the power of AI because we both have backgrounds in both the healthcare space as well as in technology, and knew that that could take away the friction that was causing a lot of stores to limit their hours, long lines when people were looking at social distancing and so forth. And so our store is simple. It's all about taking the friction away from the parts of shopping that no one likes, which is waiting in line or checking out. So to shop at our stores, you just simply tap your card to enter. So that could be a debit card, a credit card. We're the first in the country to take EBT with our technology, or download our app where you would upload your credit card or debit card and you scan on our turnstile. You walk in and you shop naturally, grab whatever you need, put back what you don't. And then when you walk back through our turnstile, you're automatically charged.
It's so totally Jetsons, but here and now.
We're really redefining what the future of work looks like. No longer do you have to stand on your feet for 8 hours a day. You can actually monitor the store from a distance, right? So that allows you to be able to cover more ground. But when you're in the store, a lot of times you are in there by yourself, and it's not so much the honor system, right? Because you're tapping your card to go inside. So, your payment has already been verified before you walk in. And it's really meant to just take away as I said before, the friction around, the last mile of shopping, right? The waiting in line, the payments, I'm scanning the item and it's not registering or it's not in the system, all the things that we've all been through and all of those pain points and how long we spend waiting in line just as a society. We've just taken away that part of it. And so it really is just meant to just make the shopping journey easier. And that's what we've done, and we've been really proud about that. Many of our customers say, I feel like I'm stealing, because it's like literally you're walking in, grabbing what you want and walking out. I mean, this technology, we've all have had the opportunity to experience what large language models are, like ChatGPT and Gemini and all of those. And so we're utilizing similar technology. We're using computer vision, sensor fusion. So it's really accurate. And the cameras are able to really track whether you come by yourself or you come with your family. You can have, groups of different folks shopping at the same time, and it accurately knows what you're being charged and accurately makes sure you're being charged correctly.
What a concept for this Black couple, tech savvy enough to make it work. If only they could get the attention of a shark.
Hi, Sharks. We're Jamie and Jilea, the husband and wife team behind Nourish Bloom Market. We're here today seeking a $400,000 investment for 5% equity in our company.
Sharks, it's no secret that fresh and healthy food is a necessity for all living things. But did you know that a shocking 1 in 8 Americans live in food deserts where fresh and healthy food is scarce? In urban areas, people may live over a mile away from any fresh produce. And in rural areas, that distance can stretch to more than 5 miles. But we're here to change that.
Introducing Nourish Bloom Market. Sharks, we're on a mission to build micro markets like this in food deserts across America.
Great pitch, but the Sharks aren't biting.
I wish you the best. I'm out.
Hey guys, let me just give you the brutal honest. Your finances are a disaster.
What?
Right?
I mean, that's one of the things that's been so hard for being entrepreneurs and Black entrepreneurs. And like, if we just with this idea, the fact that we've been able to get
this far, I'm not taking anything away from you guys, right? Because we've all had our backs against the wall, where it's like we got to get the next day. I will figure it out, and I will roll what I have to roll to get that. I get it, and when you turn back and look at it, it's a mess, right? But that's what you had to do to cobble it all together to live. But it's not really investable for me, so for those reasons, I'm out.
The Sharks were brutal. They ravaged. But faith and perseverance, Jilea says Nourish and Bloom is now blooming. The Sharks did not stop them. The Black couple got out of the tank and kept on stepping.
We didn't get a deal, and that was fine. But we got so much interest from around the country, just talking about areas where they're lacking access to grocery stores in their community, begging us to come. And so, now we're just super busy trying to see how we can support as many communities around the country as possible, because this, having access to food should be a right, not a privilege. And we really have taken away that barrier that a lot of traditional big box stores have with coming into communities. Our technology helps us to reduce overhead costs so that we can go into communities and be able to serve.
This is fantastic. Where are your stores and how can we shop there?
So we have 2 stores open right now in the Atlanta area, one in Fayetteville and one in Cascade Heights, historical Cascade Heights in Atlanta. We're going to be opening up actually 2 more stores this year in the Atlanta area as well. So that's going to be in Pittsburgh Yards as well as on the 4th Ward Skate Park on the east side of Atlanta. So we're really excited about that. And then next year, we're going to be franchising our stores around the country. So you're going to start to see them everywhere, which is what we're really excited about. When we first started to discuss the idea of what we were looking to do, we had a lot of, when you think about traditional funding, they just didn't know if this was even possible, right? Especially in the Southern United States. We were the first to do this in the Southern United States. So this is a shopping experience that most people had never heard of. And there's something really special about community. The reason why our first store got open was because our friends and our family believed in us. And when we think about the idea of having an opportunity to invest, and imagine if we had the opportunity to invest in, the big box stores that we see today at its inception, what that would have done for, our communities, our families, our wealth. And so, this is what the opportunity was, and they saw it. They saw a need. They believed in Jamie and myself that we could pull it off, which we did when traditional investment did not. And so that's why we're really big on community investment. And now we're actually doing it again and making sure that it's even more accessible for the community to be able to get in and invest now and reimagine how Americans eat. So we're doing that with our We Funder campaign, where for as little as $100 now, you can help to build the next Nourish and Bloom stores and also be a part of all of our future growth. And so, you have to give credit to the Jobs Act for allowing this to be possible, because prior to that, you had to be an accredited investor to even be able to get in on these early deals that now through that bill that was passed allows for, anyone who has a desire to be able to invest and start to continue to build wealth for their families. And so, the community really stepped in and said, we believe in you. And if you can do this, you're going to really have the ability to impact the way we access food for generations to come. And that's why the first store was open. That's why the second store is open. And that's how we're getting all of our stores open. And so even when they say no, we're going to show them why this is a model that definitely works.
How can we follow Nourish and Bloom?
So you can follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn. You can definitely learn more through our WeFunder campaign, just Nourish and Bloom, or Nourish and Bloom, fully spelled out across all platforms, and our website for sure.
Jilea Hemmings, thank you for keeping our community healthy.
Thank you.
I'm Vanessa Tyler. See what's happening in Blackland. There will be a new episode every week.